Here are some of the stories you'll see next on 28 Eyewitness News at 6.
Pittston students head back to class, but how did the 6-week strike affect seniors planning for college?
Did you get out to vote today? Well, Congressman Joseph McDade and his opponent Joe Cullen did. We'll have a live report from McDade campaign headquarters.
And our lead story, voters in one part of our area get out to cast their ballots in one of the ugliest local races.
Eyewitness News starts right now. Live from 28 WBRE-TV, the station that's taking the lead. This is 28 Eyewitness News at 6.
Good evening. Our lead story tonight is Decision 96. There are just about 2 hours, an hour and 59 minutes to be exact, to get to the polls and cast your vote.
Now, one of the nastiest races in our area involves the race for State House in Lower Luzerne County. The incumbent made headlines when he switched parties 2 years ago after winning. This year, his opponent is a political newcomer with lots of backing from the Democrats. Reporter Andy Mahalchik is live from Hazleton on the heated race between Tom Stish and Todd Eachus. Andy?
Well, I can tell you this much without a doubt. This is one of the most vicious races I have ever covered or have ever seen in the Hazleton area. And I have lived here all my life, and I have covered elections per se on a personal basis for the past decade. Most political observers agree that the high voter turnout here, for example, in the second ward of Hazel Township, 65 to 70% is a result of the Todd Eachus-Tom Stish race. Now, the main reason, of course, the central focal point of this race, Tom Stish's switch from Democrat to Republican. The switch, as it is known, was made 5 days after Stish was elected as a Democrat in 1994. The switch gave the Republicans and new Governor Tom Ridge power in Harrisburg. Now, Stish said he had to make the switch to better serve the people of the Hazleton area. Basically, he said it was a switch from the heart that he had to do it. But the Democrats, namely their candidate Todd Eachus, say it was a stunt, it was a dirty trick, that it showed no loyalty to the people of the Hazleton area, and as a result, Tom Stish should be voted out of office. We'll continue to follow this race tonight. We'll have live reports throughout the evening. With the live volume in Luzerne County, Andy Mahalchik, 28 Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Andy. Now, Andy has been covering the Stish-Eachus race from the primary up until today, and as he mentioned, he will have live reports throughout the night along with first results.
Well, earlier today, we caught up with some voters casting their ballots in Hazel Township, where the Stish-Eachus race is a hot topic of debate and decision. Now, this polling place is one of more than 9,500 statewide. If you have not yet voted and are worried about what happens if you happen to get caught in line when the polls close at 8, if you are in line before 8, you will be able to vote. Elections officials will mark the end of the line at 8 and inform anyone who arrives after 8 they will not be able to vote. Well, voters were standing in line before the polls even opened this morning in Jenkins Township. Voters there are choosing candidates on both the national, local, and statewide levels. They will also be among the Luzerne County voters deciding if they want to switch to an electronic method of voting at a cost of about $3 million.
Well, nearly 7 million people are registered to vote in Pennsylvania this election, and that is the largest in state history. But are voters coming out to cast their ballots in our area? Reporter Kathy Bazinski is standing by with the Live Eye in Kingston at Independence Fire Hall with more on voter turnout. Kathy?
Well, Don, I'm back here at our Bellwether precinct, and since I talked to you at 5 o'clock, we've had about 45 people come in to vote, and that's really good. We're approaching the 60% voter turnout in this precinct, where about 668 people have registered to vote. So where are they voting? The obvious, of course. We've got the presidential election. We've also got a very hotly contested race between incumbent Phyllis Munday and Bill James in the 120th Legislative District. And we also have, if we move into the booth here, videographer Andy Koch, a very important public question regarding these booths. Should an electronic voting system be used at polling places in the county of Luzerne? A lot of debate over that. That will be a major expenditure of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. But we also remember a few years ago where we had some problems with these voting machines, and that spurred this question tonight. So the polls are open for a few more hours, and the people here in Kingston expecting turnout to continue to be pretty good. With the Live Eye in Kingston, I'm Kathy Bazinski. Dawn?
All right, Kathy. Now, local voter turnout will vary greatly depending upon the races of interest in a particular district. Obviously, it's high in the Hazleton area with the Stish-Eachus race. Nationally, it is expected to be low. It's estimated it could fall to just over 50%, about the turnout rate 8 years ago.
Well, a race in our area drawing national attention today. That race is for the 10th Congressional District. It involves Congressman Joseph McDade, a 17-term Republican incumbent, and challenger Joe Cullen. The 10th Congressional District covers the northeastern corner of Pennsylvania, 9 counties, one of them Lackawanna, where half of the voters are Democrats. Half of those voters will determine what will happen to the Joe Cullen candidacy. Right now, reporter Andy Palumbo is covering the McDade-Cullen race. He joins us live from McDade headquarters in Clark Summit. Andy?
Well, Keith, Joe McDade has breezed through just about every election in the past 30 years. But this year, though, it is a much different story. This has been a tough year for 17-term incumbent Joe McDade. He squeaked by in the primary. Then there was a long robbery and racketeering trial. And even though McDade was acquitted, his reputation was damaged. Then there is the general election. Democrat Joe Cullen has spent a lot of time and money trying to unseat Joe McDade. The congressman expressed a lot of confidence when he voted this morning. And I spoke with several people in the McDade camp this past week. They're all pretty sure they can get past the Cullen challenge and go back to Washington for term number 18. Now, if McDade does go back to Washington, there is a question over whether he will chair the powerful House Appropriations Committee. That post was put on hold for McDade pending the outcome of his trial. He did not get it. Now, Congressional Quarterly says McDade will not get it, even if Republicans hold on to Congress in today's election. But Senator Arlen Specter, who was in town over the weekend, said yes, McDade will get that post. McDade says he'll get it. Just one of the many unanswered questions surrounding this race tonight. Live at McDade headquarters in Clark Summit, Andy Palumbo, 28 Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, Andy. Of course, we want to remind you to stay tuned to NBC and WBRE-TV. Our Decision 96 coverage begins promptly at 7. Pennsylvania polls close at 8. We'll have live reports, first results, and team coverage throughout the night, all the races that affect you. Dawn?
Thank you, Keith. Now, while voters were heading to the polls today, students at the Pittston Area School District were heading back to class for the first time in 6 weeks. But there's one special group in the district that might be more affected than any other group. Donna Crilly has their story.
Seniors in the Pittston Area District have a math problem. What's the effect of a 6-week strike on the next 4 years of your life?
I have to take my SATs and that. I didn't get a chance to take them yet. I don't know if I'm going to still be able to take them or not.
It's harder to get in for all the papers and all that.
Well, I haven't been searching since we've been out of school, and I really don't know. I didn't get to talk to any counselors or anything.
Yeachok says she's not too worried about what will happen.
Not really, but I plan to go to college, and it was harder to get into the office and everything because there were no teachers there to help you.
At the University of Scranton, admissions dean Father Bernard McElhenney says those students may be behind, but they're not disadvantaged.
Again, let's take an example. We need the senior grades of a student before a final decision. Well, we're certainly going to take that into consideration. We're not going to hold to a particular deadline, but we're going to be flexible there.
The school district wants to be sure that no one misses any more classes.
And I think, again, as adults, it's our responsibility to take charge of that effort and to direct the kids so that we can deliver that quality instruction.
In order to reach the full 180 days of instruction by June 30th, students will only have 2 holidays this year, Christmas Day and Memorial Day. There's also only 1 snow day available, so the district is hoping that this year is like 2 years ago when they only needed 1 snow day, instead of like last year when they needed 13 snow days. In Pittston, I'm Donna Crilly, 28 Eyewitness News.
School Superintendent Dr. Frank Serino says that he will be meeting with teachers personally to try to come up with creative ways to entice students to come to class on holidays. This will also be discussed at next Tuesday's school board meeting.
The FBI and the state police are hoping you can help them catch a bank robber. They've released a picture taken on surveillance cameras of a man they say robbed the First Union Bank in Broadheadsville on October 31st. The suspect is described as a white male with a dark complexion and dark hair. He's about 5 feet 4 inches tall, and anyone with information is asked to contact the FBI at 344-2404 or state police at Fern Ridge. The number there is 646-2271. Well, still to come is your phone bill about to go down. We'll tell you about the latest proposal from Bell Atlantic.
Plus, you can help prevent osteoporosis after menopause. Diana Penna has some new information in her Health Beat report.
And temperatures come up. They stay up for at least a couple of days. We'll enjoy it for sure. The forecast and the Power of Earthwatch in a couple of minutes. We'd like you to stay where you are. Thank you.
You're watching 28 Eyewitness News at 6. Anchored by Keith Martin, Dawn Timoney. Weather with Vince Sweeney and the Power of Earthwatch. Sports with Jim Miller and the 28 team. Backed by the entire Emmy-nominated Eyewitness News team. Now 28 Eyewitness News continues on WBRE-TV.
It's possible you may see some positive changes in the form of minus signs on your phone bill.
The Bell Atlantic Corporation is proposing to shave $13 million a year off its phone rates in Pennsylvania. Now, if approved by state regulators, the move could benefit businesses and homeowners who sign up for service. Bell is asking to use half of that amount, $6.5 million, to cut back on fees that it charges to long-distance phone companies.
Now, Eyewitness News Health Beat.
In the Health Beat this evening, there's more evidence replacing hormones lost during menopause can make a woman's bones more dense. And our Health Beat reporter Diana Penna has more on this latest study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association.
Mary Hughes is coming to this medical research center to check on the condition of her bones. She's past menopause and concerned about osteoporosis, especially since her mother suffered fractures. Osteoporosis means porous bone, and that's exactly what happens as normal bone thins out and becomes so weak it can easily break. For women, the loss of the hormone estrogen after the change of life can accelerate bone loss. Mary is having a bone scan to assess the density of the bone in her spine and hips. This is what researchers did over a 3-year period with nearly 900 postmenopausal women. Some took estrogen alone, some combinations of estrogen and progestin, and some received an inactive placebo. In the areas measured, the women taking the placebo lost 2 to 3% of their bone mass, while those taking the active therapies gained 2.5 to 5%.
That's quite a bit, because it's estimated that women, once they're menopausal, are losing bone mass on the rate of approximately 0.5% per year. So this is doubling, you know, the bone mass that women would have, so that it is a very good thing, a very positive thing.
While the study offers hope for many, it does not answer several key questions, like how much bone mass is necessary to prevent fractures, or the best time to begin therapy, or how long treatment should continue. That's the Health Beat. I'm Diana Penna.
Vince Sweeney right on the money with the forecast for today.
That's right. Warm out there, no rain. Perfect evening to vote.
Yes, it is. You still got plenty of time. I hear it was crowded.
It was,
Yeah.
at
Yes,
least in
indeed.
some places.
Yeah, the folks at my polls told me that they were running way ahead of where they did last year, so that's an encouraging sign to see more people voting.
Shavertown, Jackson Township, same thing.
Although we don't like to get preachy about it now, do we?
Yes, we do.
Do we wagging? Go ahead, I won't.
Wag the tongue, not the finger.
That's right. But get out there and do it. You still got plenty of time. All right, here is the trivia question. Record November high for the entire U.S. of A. belongs to this state: Nevada, California, Florida. We'll talk about our weather right here at home in just a couple minutes.
You're watching 28 Eyewitness News on WBRE-TV. Now, with the power of Earthwatch, here's your local forecast.
Nice day today, kind of warm. Going to be warm again tomorrow, the day after. Not so bad even the day after that, but then we'll get cold for the weekend, just like it was last week. Out in Stroudsburg now at the middle school, the temperature is 47, the high at 54, low at 31 early this morning. Pressure's rising, the humidity is 79%. No rain to measure there. Winds are very, very calm, as you can see right now out of the west, but they're under 1 mile per hour. The highest gust today was 14. Unusually, kind of a calm day. And not the calm before the storm either, because there's no storm out there to be calm before, if you get me. Now let's go to the numbers on the records. 76, 1935, 19 degrees in 1991. Sun rises, sets tomorrow at 6:40 and at 4:53. We got a live scan of 28 Super Doppler for you. We still have some showers here, nagging, persistent little sprinkles and showers extending back from Monroe County up through Pike, back over Wayne through Lackawanna and up into Wyoming. A couple in Susquehanna and even I mean, we're talking virtually hardly notice this kind of thing falling, if you get my idea here. Virtually nothing, maybe enough to wet the grass. And most grass in most places is still green. I know most of my neighborhood is. So let's put this in motion for you since noontime today. Watch this batch go across here. Again, nothing significant mixed in. This was all very dry, not very dry, very light precipitation. I don't think precipitation can be dry. I don't believe so. I think that kind of tends to contradict itself. Here in the east, plenty of clouds, and here are those few showers over Pennsylvania and on up in through New York State. And pretty cloudy all back to the west, so we're in a regime here where we've got a frontal boundary draped up to the north. We're in the warm sector. I mean, it has managed to drag a lot of warm air in here with a heat pump high likewise, but it also brings us plenty of clouds and a chance for the showers. You get the idea for the next couple of days. So I guess you can't have everything. Can't have your cake and eat it too. Everybody wants everything perfect, and such is usually not the case. But if you ask me, not that you're asking, I'll go for the warm air anytime and take a couple of clouds and a couple of sprinkles and showers. Not even flurries. The weekend would be the next flurry possibility as colder air arrives, probably Friday night into Saturday. And Friday itself, we could end up getting some rain. So let me show you how things shape up for today. The frontal boundary off to the north by tomorrow. It's going to lift somewhat, and even milder air is going to make its way into Pennsylvania. Here's your exclusive AccuWeather forecast for tonight. Partly to mostly cloudy. A shower early on. You saw them on radar. Once they're gone, they're gone. The overnight low at 40 degrees. Tomorrow, clouds, some sunshine. Can't promise you a lot, but there'll probably be some. And a high at 60. Nice day. Then tomorrow night, I don't even think this is chilly for this time of the year. A 49 for tomorrow night's low, and variably cloudy skies overhead. Now you're wondering, hey, what about the rest of it? Well, let me show you what the rest of it looks like here. Thursday, we may see some showers late in the day. Plenty of clouds and 62. Friday looks like a cloudy day with the chance of some rain arriving and 54. Weekend gets cooler, colder, chillier, whatever you'd like to call it. Temperatures in the 40s. It will get windy, and there could be a snow shower or two. And just a stray flurry, of course, anytime on Saturday and Sunday. Another good weekend to be indoors. Just so happens I have something to be indoors at if you're interested.
Yes, we'd love to.
Well, thanks for asking. The Scranton Prep Parents Club have Galleria 96 at the Larkin Center, which is adjacent to Scranton Preparatory School itself on Whaley Avenue in Scranton.
Know the building well.
Well, when I was a kid, we used to play basketball. We were building those stands. Anyway, they had this big preseason or early season shopping affair that goes on for the weekend, and your presence and attendance would be appreciated, I am sure.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Vince.
You're welcome.
Wilkes-Barre's Bob Sura begins another big NBA season.
Jim Miller joins us live from the radio with sports next. Don't go away.
If you see news happen or capture it on your home video camera, call us on the Eyewitness News hotline at 1-800-358-WBRE. Or if you're a Wireless One cellular customer, dial star 28. It's a free call. Now, 28 Eyewitness Sports.
Thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. Former GAR high school basketball star Bob Sura and the Cleveland Cavaliers begin their home season tonight, hosting the San Antonio Spurs at the Gund Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Over the weekend, Sid Michaels spent some time with Bob Sura at the Meadowlands to talk about his second season in the National Basketball Association. And the PIAA State High School field hockey playoffs got underway this afternoon. Artillery Park, the Lady Knights of Lake Lehman had a tough outing against Line Mountain, but in the end, the Lady Knights of head coach Gene Lipsky advanced to further competition with a hard-fought 1-0 victory. In the nightcap, Souderton over Crestwood 2-1. Other action this afternoon, Seminary knocked off Selinsgrove. We have no report on the Coughlin game yet. We'll try and have that for you tonight at 11 o'clock. State High School soccer playoffs also got underway this afternoon. Lancaster Mennonite over Bishop O'Reilly 5-0. AAA showdown, Selinsgrove over Valley West 4-0. State competition continues later this week. National Football League last night, we show you one play. No, that's me up there. We're not going to show you a play. Are we going to show you a play? Do we have a play?
No way.
Hey, there it is, Keith, in our studios. Thank you very much.
All right, Jim, thanks.
Uses the latest technology very well.
Coming up, Vince will recap our weather forecast.
And he'll give the all-important answer to the trivia question.
You're watching 28 Eyewitness News on WBRE-TV. Now, 28 Eyewitness News continues on WBRE-TV.
And finally, while the polls in Pennsylvania are open until 8, polls have already closed in 2 important states.
The polls closed in Indiana and Kentucky about a half an hour ago at 6 o'clock. Now, these races are closely watched this year, especially because they usually go Republican. Indiana has 12 electoral votes up for grabs. Kentucky has 8.
And with 400 of 188,000 national precincts reporting, Bill Clinton and Bob Dole a dead heat, 46% apiece. Ross Perot getting about 8%. We'll have the rest of the story as the night unfolds.
That's right. Let's check in now with Vin Sweeney for a look at the forecast. Vin.
Guys, tonight, if you're going out to vote, wherever you're going, no problems. We have a shower or two out there exiting very quickly. We'll see plenty of clouds overhead tonight, but it won't be all that cold, cool, whatever, 40 degrees, a 60 tomorrow with lots of clouds, some sun. Thursday is 62, Friday a 54. Friday looks like it could rain on us. Then the weekend gets cool again with 40s both days and windy, and snow showers and snow flurries, and it's just dreadful. Okay, it's not that bad. Let's get real here. Let's go back to trivia. The record November high for the USA belongs to this state. It is California, 105 degrees. There you have it. Thank you, and I'll see you later on.
All right, we'll see you at 11. And that does it for this edition of Eyewitness News. We thank you for watching.
NBC Nightly News next. Of course, the big story, Decision 96. Join us starting at 7 for the full story of Decision 96.